This sequence increases energy and flexibility by using fluid movements to open up the joints and release tension. From the top of your mat, with your hands in prayer, release the arms down. On an inhale, reach the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, hands to the shins, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back to plank position. Notice your hands are right under the shoulders and elbows. Now drop the knees to the floor right under the hips. Tuck the toes and we'll start some easy cat-cows. Inhale, belly drops down, chest peels open. Push through the palms. Exhale, point the toes, round the back. Tuck the toes, inhale, chest forward, look up. Exhale, round. Feel into the fluidity and imagine your breath is like water. And it's just seeping into all these little nooks and crannies, starting to open them up and keeping your physical body irrigated. Now with the toes tucked, separate the knees a little wider and draw big giant circles with the hips. Roll all the way around. I like to bend my elbows here and feel the sweeping motion through the whole torso. So you want to literally water the spine. The spinal column is really the fountain of youth. All the information from the brain moves through the body via the spinal column. Switch directions. So the more openness and fluidity and range of motion we have in the spine, the more the information is getting through our nervous system. It keeps all the peripheral tissues of the body flooded with fresh oxygenated blood and consciousness. Perfect. Come back into the center. Inhale, extend the right leg back. Press through the right inner heel. Lift the pit of the belly and then reach the left arm forward. Right leg lifts off the ground. Reach it out. For this spinal balancing, pull the arm and the leg away from each other. Inhale, reach. Exhale, find your fluid motion as you tap the knee and elbow together underneath. Inhale, reach. Find a nice arching into the upper back. Exhale, tap. Inhale, spread the toes as you reach. Exhale, point the toes as you pull. Last couple. This opens up the two opposite hemispheres of the spine and flushes out tension through the whole back. Last one. Inhale, reach. Excellent. Left arm down, right leg down. Inhale, extend the left leg back, tips of the toes touching the mat. Start by pushing through the left inner heel. Zip up the pit of the belly, right arm forward. Now really lengthen through the left side of the spine and then lift the left leg. Start by stabilizing the core. Take an inhale, extend. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring knee and elbow together. Inhale, spread the toes, fingers extend. Exhale, curl them together. Last one. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, release. Plant the hand, plant the knee. Inhale, tuck the toes under, shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Empty the head and the neck. Take a moment to attune to the quality of your breath. Fill the lungs completely as you feel the release from the last few poses. And we'll add another simple fluid motion sequence. Lift way up onto the balls of the feet here. As you lengthen the tail up and back towards the sky, keep the feet and knees hip distance apart. Spin the toes and knees to the left, hips and heels to the right. As you exhale, bend the knees as much as possible. Drop your butt down towards the right heel, allowing the knees to separate. Inhale, lift back up through downward facing dog. Exhale, toes and knees to the right, hips and heels to the left. Bend the knees, try to get the butt cheek almost touching the left heel. And then one breath, one movement. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, turn to the left. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, swivel right. Inhale, reach up and back. Couple more rounds. Keep your arms nice and strong. You have claw fingers like a tiger paw. You're pushing through the base knuckle of each finger. Now back to downward facing dog. And the left leg extends. Go ahead and peel the left hip open. Bend the left knee so the left heel is dropping towards the right hip. Now inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Notice the shoulders and upper body are still square. Exhale, bend. So you're not just dumping into the right shoulder. Inhale, reach it up. Square the hips off. And then big giant circles with that left leg all the way around. So now we're really getting into the connective tissue, the fascia. Opposite direction with the left leg. This helps to increase range of motion, prevent and recover from injury gently. Maintaining our flexibility is one of the best anti-aging benefits of yoga, so we can continue to feel and look youthful in our bodies as we age. Release and drop the knees to the floor. Step the left foot forward, tuck the right toes, walk the right knee a little further, and let the hips sink down. On an inhale, peel the chest open. Exhale, make sure the front knee is directly over the front ankle. Inhale, rise and lift the arms overhead. Exhale like you're doing a giant backstroke to open the shoulders. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, pinky finger goes in first. So while you're here, feel the knees swiveling towards each other. Good. Now inhale, reach it up for Anjaneya Asana, or modified crescent. Interlace the fingers except the index finger pointing straight upwards. And suck the feet and knees towards each other. Lift up and arch back. Full deep breaths. Another option is you can bring the hands to the lower back, fingers pointing down or the fingers pointing up, depending on your flexibility. Again, the key action is to keep isometrically drawing the heels towards each other. This keeps the femur bones plugging into the hip sockets. Now gently release. Bring the fingertips to the floor in front of you or to blocks if you have them. Straighten the front leg to your own degree. Take an inhale, pull the heart forward and pitch the chest over that left leg. As you exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, or half splits. Come right back to the breath. Bend the front knee as much as you need to, or if you have more flexibility, you can start walking towards full splits. But still keep the knees pulling towards each other to engage and protect the hamstrings if you're all the way down in splits. Keep the back toes tucked under. Last 2 breaths wherever you are. Visualize giant deep breaths sweeping through the hamstrings to help them release. Now lift the chest, bend the front knee 90 degrees. Bring the hands to the inside of the front foot and heel toe the left foot over to the side of your mat. Toes turn out at a 45-degree angle so the front knee starts to roll open, and then reach the chest forward. You may be able to drop down into the right forearm or possibly both forearms. Notice you're rolling to the pinky toe side of the left foot. Breathe into the outer left hip. Take a little fluid motion here, rolling the hip back and forth if you wish. Take a breath or two to just feel the effects of this stretch and enjoy. Good. Slowly come back up. Hands to either side of the front foot. Tuck the back toes. And then inhale, lift the left leg all the way up and back through one leg, down dog. You may wish to peel the leg open, begin to rinse out the hip joint, and then come back to downward facing dog. Same thing on the right side. Inhale, right leg up. Peel the hip open. Notice the shoulders stay square. Bend the right knee, dropping the heel towards the left hip. Inhale, straighten, extend back through the foot. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hips. This gets into the psoas and the hip flexor. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. One more. You might feel it all the way down through the abdominals because the hips and the abdomen are very interconnected. Now spin the right hip square. Bring the knee into the chest. Big giant circles with that right leg all the way around. And opposite direction. Keep the foot awake. Inhale, reach it around. Try to increase the circumference of each hip circle. And on an exhale, step forward. Drop the back knee down. Walk it a little further back. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale like you're doing a giant backstroke. Inhale, reach. Exhale, around. We're really getting the hips from every angle here. Optional, you can bring the hands to the lower back. Knees swivel towards each other. Hug the back knee into the front. Inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace fingers except the index for Anjaneya Asana or modified crescent. Keep the right thigh plugging in. Take another deep breath. And then release. Fingertips to the floor on either side of the front foot or up on a block. Straighten the front leg to your own degree, drawing the toes back towards you. Take an inhale, chest lengthens forward, Ardha Hanumanasana or half splits, and exhale, fold. If you don't do yoga very often or you don't stretch out very often, you're probably feeling it in the back of the hamstring. You can always bend the front knee as much as you need to, or to take it further and move towards the full splits. But keep the back toes tucked under so you can still plug the knees towards each other. Long, deep breaths. You want to be working about 80% of your capacity. As long as you're feeling a stretch and you can breathe fully, you're in the perfect place. Allow the breath to really soften the hamstring. On your next inhale, begin to lift the chest and bend the front knee. Heel toe the front foot over to the right slightly. Turn the foot out at a 45-degree angle and then roll to the outside edge. Lift the chest. Optional, you can drop down onto one forearm or both forearms and just close the eyes. Follow your breath. The hips are connected to the water element and our emotional body. Our emotions live in the lower back, pelvis, and hips. The hips are the largest joint, surrounded by the largest muscle tissue. So naturally, they're the largest storehouse for energy and emotion in the body. Often when we release physical tension in the body, it may be accompanied by an emotional release. So if you're feeling any upwelling of emotion or thought, simply observe, let it rise, and breathe through it. No need to indulge or push away. Yoga helps us to process emotion out of our bodies on the breath, which rebalances the nervous system and even releases the feel-good hormones of oxytocin and serotonin. Gently move around here, massage your hip open, and slowly rise. Bring the right foot back, cross the legs, bring the legs around in front of you, and the last little hip opener here. Bring the right foot on top of the left knee, and the left foot comes underneath. It's called Agni Stambhasana or fire log pose, like you're stacking two logs on a fire. Stack the shins on top of each other. If it's too much, just bring the top leg in front. Inhale to your own degree, lift out of the waist. And on an exhale, slowly walk forward. Take 2 to 3 breaths on each side. Keep the feet slightly flexed. Slowly walk yourself back up. Switch legs. Left leg on top or in front. Lift up on your inhale, extend up out of the waist, and reaching out, exhale, fold forward. A couple deep breaths here. If you feel a gentle stretch in the hips or lower back, you are getting the benefits of this exercise. Imagine the breath like water pooling in the hips and the lower back. On your next inhale, slowly walk yourself up. Uncross the legs. Separate the feet about hip distance. Fold forward and super slowly rounding up one vertebrae at a time. Shake it out. And when you get to the top, take a big inhale. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart.